Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to some regular Gears videos. Obviously, the last video was quite divisive. There was a lot of good comments, and I had to delete a lot of vile comments. Some towards me, mostly towards Charlie, and a whole mixture. And I don't often like to do those videos, but I really did want to use my channel to bring light to a situation. I dislike anybody that is kind of doing that sort of behavior, and the fact that multiple developer companies are doing that is just wild. Even if it's only one person, and as I said in the video, it doesn't represent the company's viewpoints. The fact we are like 4 days later and there has still been no statement, but there was a statement about me, is crazy if you think about it like that. So yes, silence is telling at the moment, isn't it? Silence is telling. Now, people have been telling me that my videos are negative and that I am witch hunting TC to find anything poor about the game. Here are my videos, guys. Number 1 was my first impression of multiplayer, which I said was pretty good. Number 2, I factually reviewed a Digital Foundry video with over 1 million views talking about the atmosphere. Number 3, I said that the game feels a bit strange. You know, it's the first time I've played it. I've not played Ultimate Edition. I said it felt quite artificial. And that the shotgun is downing people across the map. The next video was that the servers were down. There was no official communication at the time, and I let people know. 6,000 people appreciated that. Number 2 was to showcase the range of the down and discuss it with you, the players. And whatever it was, the next one was to discuss that they patched the game and it was an improvement, and then I gave it a review. The next one was my experience of playing one shot one kill, and that I was beaten down, meleeed, hit, and I can't believe that they've imported the sort of Gears settings from Gears whatever it was, 3 or whatever, you know, and that they'd previously fixed it in Gears 5 but had unfixed it. Next, I made a video that stacks were killing the game, and that's not TC's fault, and then it's players. Next, I discussed that the Gears execution clutches are great, and the next video discussed that I really enjoy Blitz and execution. And the next video after that was that dual wielding rifles was really strong, and I enjoyed it, and it was a different playstyle. So, what's today's video about? Well, today's video is about the enjoyment I had a couple of evenings ago playing the game with a couple of people I used to play with back in the day. I speak to one of them regularly. The other person I've not spoke to in nearly, 10 plus years, maybe even longer. And we just hopped back on and we played some King of the Hill, and we played some execution up until about 4, 5, I think it was about 4 in the morning. All of our play had gone to crap. We couldn't play anymore. We were tired. We were like, why are we up this late? We're too old for this. And it was just a great blast from the past. And when people ask me what's my opinion of Gears Reloaded, I try to give you the general view of the community. Like, obviously I could say there needs to be bots in the game to help people practice. Horde mode would be good to help people stay with the game. But if you're asking for me of my opinion, here's the harsh reality. I think the game's great. I think it's totally ruined by being on servers, which I'll talk about. But for me, it's such a trip down nostalgia lane. It's so enjoyable. You know, I am good at this game. I'm not consistently good, but I have my moments at this game. And it's taken me a long time to warm back up and understand the shots and what you can do, what you can't do, how to play, how to dodge, how to move. And I've played this game in my sleep. So a new player's going to struggle. And when I go on Reddit, and when I go on Twitter, and when I go on YouTube, and people are crying about the game being bad, they're missing all their shots. That's not TC's fault. That's you not understanding how the shotgun works, not understanding how the game works, and not putting in the time and effort to learn it. TC can't hold your hand there, right? This game's difficult. This game's tough. This game is consistently inconsistent, which makes it consistent. Gears 1 is a shitfest. Gears UE and Reloaded are kind of shitfest. But if you are consistently playing well, you will come out on top. That's why we played long matches of execution. You play 15 rounds of execution, you might get bullshitted in 4 of the rounds, maybe 5 of the rounds. But you're going to come out up on top. You play King of the Hill, you might get bullshitted 10 times, but of the 80 kills you're going to get, you're going to come out on top. I don't know if there's going to be gameplay in the background of this. I don't know. I just got off a game where I got 99 kills in King of the Hill playing. I could have got 100, but I only kind of realised like halfway through the sort of second round how many kills I had, and I was like, I could actually get 100 here. And that's the most kills I've had so far, is 100 kills in King of the Hill. And I was warmed up. I was back Aing, I was pushing, I was strafing. It takes a lot to get good at this game. It's confusing. It really is. And people are bashing the game because they suck, right? And if we want to deep it, guys, if we want to deep it, this is exactly why Gears 2 came to exist. Because a lot of people sucked. They got destroyed over and over and over again, and they couldn't get good at the game. It's hard. It's a hard video game. And so Gears 2 made it easier. Easier aiming mechanics. There was less mechanics. It was slower. It was, quote, more tactical. You could do things like tag a grenade under a leaf and you couldn't see it. You know, rolling was faster than running, and you know, some people grew up playing Gears 2. Some people never experienced the heights of Gears 1. And so for them, they love Gears 2, and I understand it. And there are some elements where even I today think, if I was to go back, I could appreciate the slower style more. But a lot of people absolutely sucked at Gears 1, and that's why they liked Gears 2 and 3. Gears 1 is a clunky, weird mess. But you play it enough, you understand it enough, you can be good. You can have good rounds. I think people these days, rightly or wrongly, want to have like a perfect, consistent experience where they roll in to a lobby and, you know, your MP5 kills in 4 bullets every single time, and you can get 50 kills every single match and just put out performance after performance. That's not really how Gears works. Gears 1 is totally different. And it takes a long time for people to understand that. It's still taking me some time to readjust. I still get bullshitted. People still slide to cover. I still hard aim over the cover, they don't die. Right? But I know if I consistently do that and read him and play well enough, eventually I'll win out. So my videos would be very boring, wouldn't they? If I sat here and I just said, look, Gears Reloaded doesn't need any features because I enjoy it and I'm having a nostalgic experience with my friends. Gears Reloaded doesn't need to fix certain issues because we are all having fun in my... Like, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to give a balanced experience. Now, personally, I am having a lot of enjoyment, and for me there is replayability because I just like the game. That's not really a very fun opinion though, is it? It's not very an interesting opinion. Now, the one thing I will say, and comment below if this is you, you know, the one thing that's really, really killing my motivation to play the game though is the servers. Now maybe you're lucky enough to live in America and get American servers because it seems like that's the only servers they have. But the difference in gameplay on playing on an American server and playing on an EU server is night and day. Yesterday I played Execution and there was a couple of random lads on the other team and I was chatting away to them. It was about 12:30 at night, you know, heading towards 1 AM. And they thought I was in a 4 stack on the other team. And I was like, nah, I don't know these guys. I just joined the lobby. I play on my own. And they were like, do you want to join? So I joined. Right? And we played 4 or 5 games, all on American servers. And the guy was good. You know, the guy I was playing with was good. He was moving everywhere. He was top of the board. He was playing really, really well. I think he was a competitive player. He was British,
Blackout,
and
you need to come
every single one of us was just been like, I just can't do anything. I can't swap guns.
That would mean
I'm sliding to cover. I'm literally getting stuck on cover. That's not happened, you know. But I can't push people, and I'm having that experience that other people have where bullets go through people. And I'm not talking about the new player that doesn't understand how the shotgun works. Right? I'm not talking about that. I'm genuinely like the bullet's not going to kill the guy, even though it's directly on him. Like, so obviously he's in a different position on the screen, but I can't see it. Now, in old games, if I went on a American connection, number one, it would tell me and I'd know my ping. I know more information about the connection to the game I'm playing from a 2006 video game than I do in nearly 2026. Why can we not see the ping we're on? I'll tell you why. Because it'll piss people off. People will press tab, they'll press back, and they'll go, wow, my whole team's lagging, their whole team isn't, or I'm lagging, nobody else is, why am I on the wrong server? That's embarrassing. That deserves an entire separate video to say that I'm having loads of fun on this game, and this stupid system of servers that don't tell you what server you're on, you can't choose to wait for a server, is ruining the game. I want to play Execution. I'm willing to wait 20 minutes if it takes 20 minutes to get onto a good server. Maybe, you know, maybe there's not any players playing Execution at night at 12 o'clock. I don't believe it. I believe there are some British people playing or some EU playing. I left and went to play King of the Hill. It was an American server again. I gave up. You know, I couldn't hit anything. I couldn't shoot anything. I was tired and I was like, why am I even putting up with this? I'm going to bed. Right? The two people I was playing with in Execution, they gave up. Right? Because it's not fun. Because it's a very different kind of lag. In 2006, the lag would be kind of like what you see is what is actually happening, but it's really laggy. So you would see the guy and shoot and your bullets would come out late. So you'd be like, right, I'm going to shoot early and the bullet is going to sort of lead into him, right? That's where the whole lead shot came from. You weren't putting it on his head and clicking, because that would never ever get you a headshot unless you were a host. What you were doing is trying to figure out, which is why the game was so hard, you were trying to figure out what a player is doing. So if I was fighting a guy, I'd be thinking, I've put him in a position where he's going to pop up and try pop shot me with his shotgun. I'm going to pre-aim the sniper and shoot, and he's going to pop up into the bullet. That kind of stuff, right? That's an extreme example, but on a very laggy connection, that's what you'd be doing. But you would be seeing what was going on. Now, everybody's running around like we have no lag, but I know for a fact people are lagging, right? And so, you know, I could sit and make loads and loads of videos on this, but obviously I'm such a tiny channel. If you want to know an interesting fact, by the way, YouTube recently changed the way videos work in the last month, and you don't get to see everything on YouTube anymore, even if you subscribe. They decide what is good and bad. You can test this by putting your account in restricted mode. If you click your profile picture and you go down to restricted mode and turn it on, if you take a look at my channel, I haven't uploaded in 4 years. So YouTube will never recommend my channel, basically. You might get like people in the gear scene finding it, but it will never ever explode, and that explains why, you know, you just never get views, because my entire account is restricted, right? So that's why I ask for comments and likes, because the few people that do see the video, I need your help, and I appreciate all the views and help you've been giving me over the past couple of weeks, and I hope you appreciate my honesty, because it's not very easy to make videos, you know, given the circumstances. So for me, last night I had an absolute blast. I was playing, you know, with an old friend and another old friend, and it was proper nostalgic. We were all laughing. It was really, really good vibes for quite a few hours, and I had a great time. The next night I hopped on. Terrible servers the entire evening. And it's not even like I can adjust to it. I can't think, well, I'll lead shot, I'll predict, I'll play slower. You can't. The only way you can play in this game is up close and personal. And so if you're lagging, it's just rough. It's totally rough. The game feels rough. The game feels even clunkier than normal. And I think it's, frankly, I'll be honest, I think it's disgusting that I can't see my ping. If I go on Counter-Strike, I can set the matchmaking. I don't want to play on any servers above 65 ping, and I'll sit and I'll wait. I can't do that on this game. I can't even choose I want EU servers only, right? Now, I'll be honest with you, it has been nice and nostalgic to play against Americans. I've got some funny clips of Americans calling me hacking. I got some disgusting clips in execution, 8 headshots in 2 rounds. I'm being told I need to leave the game because I'm cheating. And I've also got an American calling me like Butter's prodigy, saying nobody's ever done that. Unless this guy is like Butter's prodigy, he's cheating. So the Americans on this game are nostalgic and funny, right? I love Americans, but playing on the servers is rough. It's not like playing on the servers back in the day. So I do want to be on an EU server unless it's a choice. Now look, if it's 3 in the morning and I'm playing a small game, I understand there's going to be no servers. But when I'm playing in the evenings and I'm getting put on American servers, I can't fathom it. Not yet anyway. I don't think the game's that dead. And so I'm having a lot of fun on the game. The game's bloody difficult, and a lot of people don't want to hear it, but you just suck at the game, right? It's just facts, man, you know, and that's okay. I sucked for a long, long time too. I still do. You know, sometimes I sneak up behind a person and I just miss 10 shots. I think it's on them, but I know I'm missing. You know, I'm not a consistently great player. I have my odd moment, you know. I'll have 3 terrible rounds and I'm out of 1 good round, right? But I'm not going on Reddit and saying TC fixed the shotgun when I know it's a skill issue, right? So I will give TC a lot of shit and for certain things, but other things I'm totally fine to let them go on it because I try to be fair and balanced, and hopefully that comes across like. You know, I think this is a good game for players from 2006 returning one in a nostalgic trip. And PlayStation players, I think, I'll be honest, you know, and new players, there's enough content there for them to enjoy for a little bit, right? There should be more, obviously. But a PlayStation player, I've seen them, they stick with it because of the way we stuck with it. We used to suck at the game, right? But we would just carry on playing it because it hit, didn't it? When you did get a kill, it hit. And so they stick with it. You know, I've seen a lot of PlayStation players getting battered and they stay in the lobby for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 execution games in a row. And it's great to see. You know, big respect, man. Big respect. You know. But it is annoying that I've been put on the wrong server. And that is worth talking about, you know. But the game is very, very fluid. Here's the one thing to take away from this that I realised. Like, Gears 1 has this amazingly interesting thing where when you slow down, you speed up. And you can get to a point in this game where you're moving slow but fast, and it's weird. Maybe you understand that, maybe you don't. But you can bounce around like a lunatic and get kills, and you can play slow. But to play slow, you need to really understand the game and understand what the other player is going to do, and that takes time. So a lot of people run in, they're panicking. You can see it in their gameplay. They're panicking, they're rolling, they're desperately trying to go from cover to cover. You can play slow in this game. It's like a mixture. It's like you have to be speedy when you need to be speedy. You need to know, right, now's my moment to push. He's in between reloads, we're pushing. Yeah, there's lots of little nuances, and it takes a lot of time. I wish I could pull up some gameplay and show you it all, but maybe I will. You know, maybe when my Game Pass runs out, I'll make a little montage, and then I'll just start streaming and posting gameplay. And if they want to kick me off, they can kick me off. At the moment, I'm having a nice nostalgic time. I don't want to ruin it. I'm chilled out. Things are going well. I'm enjoying the channel. Let me know, you know, was this okay? A talking head video, you know? The reason I chose to do this video in this style was because it's a pain in the arse having to constantly blur and just sort the gameplay, isn't it? But you know, I do it because I enjoy it and I like to see your feedback, and I hope in some small way that these videos are entertaining you, whether you're sat having your food or you look forward to the video. You know, I really appreciate it. I do. You know, I don't make money on this YouTube channel. I don't stream. I don't get donations. I get nothing. This is all, you know, whatever you want to call it, pro bono work. Okay, so, you know, I have some links to support me. You can become a member. A membership works, but I don't get anything from anywhere else, you know. So, yeah. Memberships, basically, I might get, you know, a few pound a month or something, and I'll buy myself a brew. And I sit down, and you might think this is sad, you might think this is lovely. I sit down and I think, yeah, this brew was paid for by some person that supports me, and people nearly 20 years later are still enjoying my videos. You know, it's a strange thing, isn't it? I got recognized yesterday in a Gears game. I said, all right, guys, good luck. I said, oh man, you crushing me with that snipe, bro. He's like, is that GGZII? I'm like, whoa, it's weird. So, you know, I appreciate it, and I just wanted to do this video. Yeah, hopefully you had a good weekend. If you've watched towards the end, let me know what you did with your weekend. Tell you what I did. I watched the Manchester United derby, and I'm sick of Manchester United, and I could put this microphone on and do a 50-minute football rant. Maybe that's what you want next. Let me know. But let me know what you did with your weekend. I don't care if it's boring. We like boring. Tell me you went food shopping and sat on the couch all day. I'm fine with it. You don't have to do anything fancy with your life. You know, just enjoy yourself.